You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Welcome and thank you for listening. This is the one and only IT in the D show, and we have made it all the way to episode 179, recording here in Studio One in Podcast Detroit. We have an awesome lineup tonight. In segment 2, we got the team from Jonezie.com, Matt, Andy, and
literally the team.
Right. It's a peer-to-peer borrowing app or borrowing site. It's kind of cool. It's
renting.
Renting.
Not borrowing.
Borrowing.
There's money.
Either. Oh, they have to give it back.
There's dollars.
So borrow is you keep it, and renting is you give it.
Borrow is there's no dollars.
Fine.
This has dollars.
Fine. We also have Dan Foco here from visitdetroit.com. We're going to be talking about all the events and stuff going on, especially during Auto Show Week. It's going to be a fun, crazy episode. And
today's episode is brought to you by Fellows Shredders. You may think that all shredders are created equal, but only Fellows are built for durability and maximum performance, so they get the job done every single time. Plus, with features like a 100% jam-proof system and silent shred, Fellows Shredders are the forefront of technology. To learn more about the world's toughest shredders, visit Fellows, FELLOWES.com.
Dave, you may fire when ready.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
You're listening to the ITintheD show.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now. And remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
Where do you guys think you are?
The Library of Congress? Detroit?
Any of those right?
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up! Why would, Buick put their cars next to, the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Dear you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to IT in the D.
So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bumhole?
Exactly.
Come on. Someone tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show. So you have no boots.
No.
You have no gloves.
No.
You have no hat.
No.
You have no scarf.
No.
You have no scraper.
No.
How long have you lived in Michigan?
All my life.
You, sir, are an idiot.
I don't care.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the beat off.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to IT in the D.
Are we at a break yet?
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT in the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds.
Nerds! What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump Pump. IT in the D show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear? I'm in my underwear. Here, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
It's just too big. How big? It's way too big.
I can get it all the way in.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
I'm totally into Dave, but not so much Bob.
This is Robert Hayes, Jet Striker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo Bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love this meat stick.
I love my Monday meat stick.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D show. Tough guy. Oh!
You promised me segment 5.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Now buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
welcome. Thank you for listening. This is episode 179 of the one and only IT in the D Show, broadcasting live here at Studio One in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always hanging out with Captain Soundboard, Dave the Geek, whoop, Nuri the FNG.
Whoop.
Whoop. Shout out to Randy and Ian on the Twitters. Find us online, ITintheD.com. Subscribe to our show via the Apples or the iOSs or the Androids. I did that on purpose.
All the things.
Make Dave roll his eyes. And do us a favor. Mark your calendars. September 19th, this Thursday.
Bob, it's January.
That's my birthday.
Oh, my God. I wrote September.
That's so weird.
I wrote September on.
Have another PBR, Bob.
Mark your calendar. It's my birthday.
Mark your calendars for this Thursday, which is January 19th. It's 2017. Is it 2017? We're going to be at Nancy Whiskey's downtown in Corktown. Go to meetup.com/ITintheD for the details. Free parking, and it's one of the oldest bars in Detroit. If you've never been there,
a lot of cool history.
It's
going to be a good night.
Absolutely. You feel like that's one of the bars, like when you walk over, like, dude, I got to take a picture of this place.
Hoffa used to hang out there.
Right.
Like that's...
Why did I write September in my notebook? I want to stew about that all week.
It could have been worse. You could have hopped in with, hey, this is episode or segment 179 of episode 1 of the ITintheD show.
Exactly. Hey, this show is brought to you by our friends at Eero. If you heard us before, I installed these puppies about, 6 months ago. And it's one of the better things I've ever done in my house. My house, I have a 3-story house, and it's awkward. And a single router.
Awkward is putting it mildly, yes.
Right. It's a stairs from hell. And just
your house is an MC Escher painting.
Right.
The basement is the most awkward of places.
Yeah. Oh, but honestly, a single Wi-Fi router just doesn't work. Not only for my house, but just houses where you need increased bandwidth. It's kind of like light waves. Wi-Fi waves don't go through walls well. Imagine asking a light bulb to light up your master bedroom. What you need is a distributed system, and that's what offices have had for years, but you're paying enterprise pricing. With Eero, you can install enterprise-grade Wi-Fi in your house in just a few minutes. I did it, and Dave makes fun of me for being completely IT illiterate.
It's so easy. Bob can do it.
Even a Bob can do it. Just, honestly, you download the app, it finds the AP, you tell it what floor it's on, and it's as simple, and it finds the other AP, and it just basically as simple as that. Current Wi-Fi routers are insanely tough to manage and optimize. The Eero app lets you manage your network from the palm of your hand, so you know how many devices are connected at any given point, so you know if your neighbors are attached. And one of the things that I think is cool, you have a guest feature. So if you don't want your people hitting your Wi-Fi and maybe seeing your files, you can basically put them on VLAN 0 and let guest networks basically run your house without seeing all your files. They're protected with WPA encryption, and because it controls the hardware and software for your network, it ensures you are always secure. Basically, we recommend one every 1,000 square feet. It means the average house in the U.S. is covered by 2 or 3 Eeros. A 3-pack's a great starting point. And if you're lucky to live in a mansion like Nuri, you can add additional Eeros up to 10 in total. The great thing is you can customize the system to your space. Start with one, and you can move up from there. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Until Tina Turner shows up and sings, "We don't need another Eero."
Exactly.
No? I'd need 6. I would need 6.
I thought it was Eero. I thought she was at a Greek restaurant.
It's the greatest American Eero. Yeah.
Right. No. But hey, do us a favor. Go to Eero.com. That's EERO.com and use our promo code ITintheD, lowercase one word, for free overnight shipping. Check out Eero, EERO.com, and do promo code ITintheD for free overnight shipping. Get it done.
Not a bad thing.
No, they're awesome.
We survived another week, and I feel bad because last week I meant to mention that last week was either going to be the best episode of 2017 or the worst episode of 2017. So all we can guarantee this week is it'll be one of the top 3 episodes.
I'm good with the top 3. It's a bronze medal. I'm good with it. Don't have to put our best forth, and we still get a bronze. Get me on the podium, right? But hey, like I said, segment 2, we're joined by the team from Jonezie.com. It's a peer-to-peer rental network. Basically, we've been reading about the shared economy for about 5 years now. It's actually coming to fruition, and we're going to have a fun conversation. Segment 3, Dan from visitdetroit.com, going to be talking about all the cool stuff going on in the city.
There's 1 or 2 things.
Just 1 or 2, yeah, exactly.
Just a couple
this
things
time of year, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like, dude, the Rent-Sen went full Gotham.
What's up with the Batman
did you see
thing?
that?
It was awesome.
Why did they do that?
It was because their Chevy's going to be part of the Batman Lego movie.
Oh.
So they
That
did
explains so much.
Had nothing to do with the Russell Industrial Center. Like, that's the only reason I watch Batman v Superman now. It's like, oh my God, that's at the Russell. Oh my God, look at that scene.
Well, I'm sure your kids do the same thing because we took our kids to record there. That was the first studio we were at, was in the Russell. Right. And sitting down watching Batman versus Superman, and the kids were like, Dad, where you and I didn't tell them. They're like, Dad, is that where we were with the studio? I'm like, yeah. They're like, and like they ran and told all their friends.
I think
my dad's studio was on the movie. Not my dad. My dad's studio.
Right. Yeah. My dad's useless, but his studio, yeah.
My favorite story this week, I got to jump out and say this real quick, is Elon Musk. Like, you, sir,
we do always have
a hero and a I don't want to go too far with this.
Well, no, we always have the "you, sir, should stay off Twitter" moment, or
there's
you,
only
sir,
one
should
person
stay
that
off
needs to stay
social
off Twitter.
media. No, there are a lot of people that need to stay off Twitter.
Indeed.
But Elon Musk is not one of them. I mean, this is a great story. Got a complaint from a customer. I want to say California, if I recall correctly from the story.
Like San Bernardino, I think. Yeah.
That all the charging stations were full and people were just leaving their cars there.
Going to the coffee house. And,
it was,
people use it for free parking, right?
Yeah. From complaint to execution in 6 days. Now there's an idle time charge if you're just going to leave your car parked on the chargers.
Which is like 60 cents a minute, I think, if you're overcharged. So, like, literally went from Twitter complaint to complete ID execution, 6 days, and completely fixed what was pretty much a national problem with these parking spots, especially when it was around retail.
I can imagine that if you were working at Tesla and it's like, I'm working on some new features, and all of a sudden Elon walks into the room and he's like, all right, guys, I've got an idea. Stop what you're doing.
No, probably not. I've got an idea. Here's what you're doing.
Stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. Because I'm about to ruin.
That's right. The image and the style that you used. Yeah.
Well, imagine if he would have done that with the boring project that he talked about because of bad traffic.
Right.
Like, guys, we're buying a drill. We're digging under the city.
For all we know, that's actually happening.
Probably.
Yeah, because the transcontinental cable machines are still floating around somewhere. I'm sure they got pulled out of storage and they may be running as we speak.
The Boring Company.
But I know, Dave, you're upset this week because your favorite website, Backpage, shut down the adult section.
What do I do now? How do you go like friendly, innocent massages?
You can't even talk anymore.
I love. Do you hear? Backpage shut down? Yeah, it says censored now. How'd you know? Like,
I heard it on the news
because CNN told me.
Yeah. CNN said it says censored. When you click
CNN told me that screenshot I just sent you. It's because I clicked the link from CNN.
Right.
That's why that happened. Yeah. So following Craigslist move. I mean that was a couple years ago. I mean, so Backpage has shut down their entire adult section, which had whether it was massages or escorts or a whole bunch of other stuff. Washy. A lot of washy going on Backpage. But so the funny thing is so apparently, because I've been tracking this story, apparently like now all of the girls have now just moved to the women seeking men section,
which is the same thing that happened on Craigslist,
right? So now it's just the stereotypical. Hey, you looking for a date?
And a massage,
and a washy.
It's the Uber model. We put consenting adults together. We take 20%. What's the
Well, but that's where Backpage got themselves in trouble. Is so kind of like what was it? The president of VW that landed and got arrested. The president of Backpage landed for a stockholders meeting and got arrested.
Money laundering, right?
Well, not only money laundering, but artificially inflating share value and lying to their stockholders and that kind of stuff, because they were saying that, we get a lot of our revenue from, this, and this, when it turns out that the vast majority of the revenue came from the adult section of Backpage. So it'll be curious to see.
Metro Times.
Well, oh my God, dude! I loved the post that somebody had that was like, these kids today that we apparently were sending out a required viewing list to make sure all the Jonezie crew knows every movie that we referenced in our intro. But no, so like people are like, oh my God, I just figured it out. You used to open up Metro Times and go to the back pages. Oh, that's why it's called Backpage. Oh,
it's even more interesting. They had some testifying under oath for like a congressional hearing, and apparently there was a moderator whose job was to edit the ads to make it okay to run,
and that's what hosed them.
Really?
Yeah. So because you can't claim, so you can fall under, you're good with DMCA. You're good under the DMCA, which is I as a service provider am not responsible for what other people post unless they can prove you edit it. If you are editing and approving content, then you are taking part in that process and you're host. But if they just let people post whatever they want, you're fine. So that's that gray area. Actually, not even a gray area. That's how they got screwed.
Whoa.
Intriguing.
No, the one that made me laugh harder than that it's the Conal boot company. God bless their souls.
Unbelievable. Don't they hire people to design that stuff?
They do, and either someone has a sick and twisted brain, or an amazing sense of humor, or is stupid. Because it wasn't until the Amazon reviews started coming in that they pulled these boots off the shelves. Because as people were walking around in these boots, they noticed that they were leaving swastikas.
So it was quiet up until it hit Reddit, and then it became an Amazon review.
That's right. We rate this 9 out of 10.
Right. My personal favorite was their great first storming into Poland.
Right.
But like, I feel bad for the guy that owned these things because he's like, I just wanted to make some boots, man.
Yeah, they were like a tread that was designed to grip rock, and they were supposed to be fine. And
I have a conspiracy theory against this. Because the boots were called Arctic Fox, Polar Fox.
Okay.
ZHS. So basically, Operation Arctic Fox was actually the code name given to a World War II campaign by Germany against the Soviets in Finland in 1941. So in my opinion, there's no goddamn way that those boots were not intentionally done.
Sneaky. Hair
Think
doctor.
Think about
All right,
it.
but what are the okay, so you're talking about something 66 years ago. Really? Or no, God, 76 years ago. Really?
Arctic Fox, leave swastikas, done deal.
Sneaky.
Coincidence is not causality.
Change the tread.
So I know this show is kind of for the techie crowd, but for the non-techies that still use
Is it really still?
Well,
Let's
no,
be
but
honest.
for those of you at home that aren't
in the D,
that are still using Geek Squad, I think we need to.
Well, let's be honest. Was this story really news? Was this something that we?
Well, no,
didn't
I just
know
thought they were
went
looking
on?
for your wife's boob pictures, not like bad things.
Not sending stuff to the Department of Justice.
Right. So basically, there's a court case. A guy named Mark Rattenmeyer, who's a physician and surgeon, took his laptop to the Best Buy after he was unable to start it. They found basically
number one.
a picture of porn. He found his porn file, right? What red-blooded American doesn't have a nice porn file labeled taxes on their computer, right?
but this guy's was a little worse, right? This was not the kind of porn you'd want to. It was the kind of porn.
It was child porn.
It was.
It was, but still, it was so where his. Not that I want to defend this jackwad, but where his defense comes in is that it was in a deleted files trash bin. So it wasn't just a normal. Hey, we scanned the files on the disk. It was we ran some recovery utilities, found some other stuff. Yeah,
they call it unallocated space. Basically,
exactly.
Right?
So I mean, it was. We'll say like if you don't when you delete stuff, if you don't wipe your drive or you don't wipe your, we all know not wiping is bad.
So they were.
So if you don't wipe your free space, those fragments still hang around, and that's what got this guy busted.
So they ran a file carving tool.
Yeah,
the thing goes and basically. And then gave it to an FBI informant.
Yes,
who basically just
But he didn't just give it to an FBI informant because if as a computer technician I found that stuff in the course of my job, it's my responsibility to make sure that the government knows about that. But the thing is, they're being paid $500.
That's the kicker.
Each time.
That's the kicker.
They do that
because there's a bounty. That's the issue.
So they're running all kinds of
illegal
swipes.
search and seizures.
Yes,
oh
basically.
Yeah.
No disintegration.
No, $500 each time.
Well, yeah. So I mean, it's essentially like if you bring your computer to Best Buy, they're incentivized to find whatever the hell you have ever had on your computer ever.
The average Best Buy Geek Squad employee makes like $13.50 an hour. So $500. That's kind of a good incentive.
So we should go to poopstory.com, do a mass purge and download everything, and then take like a fresh laptop with just those pictures, so that he has to look through every single one of them. Because how does he know if he does? Hold on, answer me this: if he does file carving and he goes through, he has to go through those pictures and make that judgment on his own. Does he not?
Yeah.
It doesn't flag anything. So
wife's boobs,
Right.
wife's boobs.
Right.
Oh, preteen. Yeah.
So then we make him search through 3,000 poop pictures, and then it'll make his life.
Well, actually,
shit.
we'll just
No
take.
pun intended.
We'll take.
there was pun intended.
We'll take Judd's infamous image and just put like 40,000 copies of it in a folder.
Yes.
And let him go through those.
Kind of like for Google Glass people,
Exactly. Image search, diarrhea, open 50 windows, go.
Yeah, exactly.
In that same vein, so I did not know that Microsoft had a group of people that even though they've called them, they spell that out every time, the online safety team. They call them most. Apparently, some of them are now suing for post-traumatic stress disorder.
Aww.
Because of some of the things that they've been forced to find.
Because they had to work on Windows 95, is that
Well,
why?
there was that.
Yeah.
But apparently they've also been paid to, monitor your chats that run through Microsoft.
Oh.
They've also been paid to monitor all your searches. They've also been paid to monitor everything you do on Windows. And, not a good thing apparently, because they've seen some very disturbing things and
I've seen some shit, man. I've seen some shit.
and I love the one quote in there where like one person was raising their concerns to their manager and saying, hey, this is like some really disturbing shit that we're seeing, and the manager's response was just take another smoke break.
Or go home, take a half day today, was what he said as well. Which basically, if you're paid to look at that shit, basically 8 hours a day, that's got to change you. Like PTSD change.
No way, because when I got my first access to OC3 to the NAP, I'm on steak and cheese like 8 hours a day.
Oh, Rish, yeah.
Yeah, in Consumption Junction, man. It didn't change me. That numbed me, so I didn't have to look at that shit for the rest of my life. You need that year of your life to not have to ever want to see it ever again. I'm just throwing that out there. I saw poop. It damaged me. Like, come on. That's all the internet is pictures of toilet and garbage and people dying and shit and beheadings. And
Bob, are you? I'm actually surprised you're here and you're not parked at the Taco Bell down the street knocking on their door.
I was already there.
Do they have it yet?
Is it out yet?
No, I've been asking. I've been driving through 3 times a day.
Yeah,
hoping.
Apparently, Taco Bell is coming out with a new fried chicken shell taco.
Wow. See, I always thought the chicken rings were weird. Like, is that like the meat around the spine? But now, like, where do you get the meat from that's in the shape of a taco shell? Like, isn't that like?
I think you source it like a chicken nugget. Where's the chicken nugget?
Is that where's the nugget?
Going to
really
KFC,
chicken.
Right?
KFC, right? What was that? The 2 fried chicken and then the bacon and then
delicious
piece of grilled chicken.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah. It's healthy. There's grilled chicken.
Call that a heart attack.
That was the Ralph Wiggum.
That was a stroke.
And this is announced. I think Taco Bell's trolling because this is a week after they announced Taco Bell is the healthiest of all the fast foods.
Oh, come on!
Like it's the
well, it's a grilled chicken.
Right. Yeah. So Taco Bell's like healthy. Screw you. We're coming out with a fried chicken shell. Kiss my ass, healthy. Wow. Again, who's going to Taco Bell going, I really want to be healthy? No
my
one.
Number one concern when I go.
So
did you fly on Friday the 13th by any chance?
This is a whole lot of nope going on.
Worst flight of the year to be on. Who even allowed this shit to happen is beyond me.
If you're flying to Helsinki,
to Helsinki from Denmark.
From Denmark,
yeah.
right? So you're flying to HEL, right?
Yeah, you're flying to hell
on Friday the 13th.
On Friday the 13th,
flight number
666.
What was the article? There's a song title that was attached to it. I'm on a skyway.
I thought it was Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast. Like, I'll wait till tomorrow.
Who even lets that happen?
I'll take a train.
Like let's just make it 667.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Well, I was surprised. Like we were at the casino on New Year's and we were on the 13th floor. And I go, I thought hotels didn't do that anymore because you go to New York and everything's 12-14.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, I guess no one's.
The Penobscot building.
No one
Penobscot
cares.
building has a 13th floor.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the open floor. That's the open.
Nobody's on it.
That's why nobody would rent it, so they had to make it an open workspace floor.
And we've joked about this because we went to the Lions game not too long ago, and we love sending random shit to the if you have a problem, please text blah 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 blah.
No, we always joked about doing it. We never did it. Like I'm going to submit you.
Yeah.
For whatever this guy in this seat farted and, ruined my.
But apparently there are
experience.
people that do that, and apparently there are a lot of people that text. It was out of Tampa Bay,
Raymond James Stadium.
Yeah, and apparently a lot of people text that their seats suck.
And so now the people that are reading those texts are going to complain about PTSD.
Right.
I think my favorite was the line is way too long for wine. Just missed the entire third quarter to find out that they didn't have any Chardonnay. Really nice. And missed a fourth of the game. Thank you.
Jesus. That's like opening day for the Tigers, right? Like, you're half the time and,
Help, there are a group of old women harassing me to take my shirt off. I feel like we can't get out of this segment without talking about the new Google phishing attack.
That's what I was just going to pull up. Yep.
I mean, I think all of us have gotten emails like, your Google account has been compromised. Click here to reset your password.
No.
And it's rife with misspellings and like the links are bad and the images aren't quite right. And you're like, okay, this is obviously phishing.
How the whole Hillary Clinton email.
John Podesta.
Yep. Yeah, that's how
this email is legitimate.
Right. I meant to say not.
But basically, this new scam is like really, really slick. So whoever's behind it, as soon as the account's phished, somebody logs in. It's like they've got a team of people sitting around to like make this happen.
Waiting for the click. Yep.
Exactly. So you basically log in and they take all your contacts and figure out who you email the most. And then they send something over and it's an attachment. And you click that attachment, and instead of opening in Google's previewer, it pops open a window. It basically loads an entire page right there, and it basically is a very convincing-looking Google password reset box. And since it's not an external page, and the way they've done
and
the
it's
link,
coming from someone you allegedly trust because you email a lot,
basically people are falling for it, and even experienced folks are falling for it. So our recommendations here at ITintheD are always use two-factor authentication.
Always
on
use
everything you can.
Yep, I got cell phone text all day long.
And Google will never ask you to reset your password.
And then not only that, there's if you haven't done this yet, and I've done it before, Gmail has an activity page.
Oh.
And if you show any sessions logged in that from, let's say I'm on an Android and you see an iOS session or whatever.
Or from Russia,
boot them off.
This isn't Russia, is it, Danny?
No, Danny. I like you, Betty. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with a team from Jonezie.com. This is the ITintheD Show, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you for listening. This is segment 2, episode 179 of the ITintheD Show, broadcasting here in Podcast Detroit, beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. It's Bob the Sales Guy hanging out with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us online, ITintheD.com. Let's try this again. Mark your calendars. January 19th, Nancy Whiskey, this Thursday. We're going to be hanging out from 5 o'clock until question mark. No cover, no speakers, no buttholes, just a bunch of IT folks talking shop and having a good old time.
I'm looking for an insurance salesman. Will there be one there?
No, there will not be one there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Randy doing the Twitters. He decided to step on a microphone. But as we...
Again, because Randy's going to be the new Casey, he's just going to be on every podcast that we have until he starts.
Slowly, it's like the Blob. It's like the Blob and Super Friends. He's just so slowly assuming everything until it's all the Randy podcast. Randy,
or No, not Randy Detroit. That sounds bad. So this segment of the ITintheD Show is brought to you by Blue Apron. We actually love everything they have going on. They have such a great impact on the community. Seafood is sourced sustainably. The beef is raised humanely. Chickens are free range. Pork is raised naturally. They use regenerative farming practices. Blue Apron can be delivered to 99% of the continental U.S. and 99.5% of food deserts. And we've talked about that here on the show before, where there are, certain areas of Detroit that don't have, whether it's a grocery store or a fruit market nearby. This solves that problem. Blue Apron ships the exact amount of each ingredient required for each recipe, so they're reducing food waste. Most importantly, and this is the really cool thing, I've seen this with my kids, I know Bob has as well, cooking together builds strong family bonds. Research shows that Blue Apron families cook nearly 3 times more often. And when you cook together, you tend to sit down and eat together, which means you're actually talking to your kids, finding out how their day went, what's going on at school, that kind of stuff. At least that's been my experience. It's been really, really cool so far. So some of the meals available they have in January, this is phenomenal. So they've got seared pork chops with farro and cranberry chutney. I'm not even sure what chutney is.
I've seen it on Chopped on Food Network, but I don't know what.
But I know it's going to be good because Blue Apron has it coming.
Like a chunky jam.
Okay.
Randy knows.
Randy. I'll let that alone. They've got spaghetti squash with marinara and mushrooms and garlic knots, and then spicy shrimp with Korean rice cakes with cabbage, and our favorite, furikake. So again, stuff you might not necessarily order or pick up or buy the ingredients for on your own, but if it shows up in your door with a recipe that walks you through step by step how to make it, you're going to try it out, and odds are good you're going to like it. So here's the deal. So check out this week's menu. Get your first 3 meals free. That's with free shipping too by going to blueapron.com/D. You're going to love how good it feels, tastes, and just to create those incredible home cooked meals with Blue Apron. So don't wait. So that's blueapron.com/D. Blue Apron, a better way to cook. And as always, thanks for the support, and go check them out.
So instead of getting a microwave craft dinner meal that my wife would make, now I'm getting a restaurant quality meal, and we're all together.
Well, and that's the best part. Like, and we've talked about this. Like, my wife, for whatever reason, like when she likes something I cook and I try to write like a recipe down, she won't follow it because then to her it's like I'm telling her what to do, and she gets cranky.
Don't tell me what to do.
Exactly, you're not the boss.
Make my own deal.
And so she goes off in the left field, and then that's how the not lasagna story happened. We can get into that at some point. But no, so I mean, it's dude, it's so cool. I mean, like stuff shows up at your house in a box with everything you need, all the ingredients.
I get my first box on Friday. I'm so excited to try it.
Well, and that's it. So they've got, whether it's a family plan or, single meals or,
there's no
vegetarian.
Waste. It's actually there's no waste. Works out to like $8 a meal.
Yeah.
So if you think about eating out, take your family to Red Lobster and tell me what the bill is.
Yeah.
It's
with those Cheddar Bay biscuits dough.
Oh no, I would if they would just make those. That's it. Like all you can
they're
eat
in the freezer.
Yeah, but I don't have to. No, but I know. I make them all the time. Sunday breakfast. It's
the Applebee's riblets.
Oh, all you can eat riblets and no, but seriously, if you go take your family to Red Lobster, it's $100 bill easily. So this, I mean, again, again, 2-3 times a week. We don't do it every day, but when we do, it's a lot of fun. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's about it's 2 meals a week that we have coming to the house, and it's perfect. I mean, it makes life just really, really simple.
So hey, we are joined by the group. I think, what did we get introduced to them? From Jeremiah from Daily Detroit, the guys from Jonezie.com, and Nuri reached out, and they graciously accepted. So, gentlemen, appreciate spending time with us and hanging out and drinking all our beer.
and not catching any of our 80s references.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't feel bad. I don't get them either. I still don't get them.
Same. I still have a backlog of movies.
From what I understand,
Fantastic.
kind of setting the stage for you guys. Like I've been reading books and things like that about the shared economy. Like it's been done with Uber, Airbnb is doing it, but nobody's really doing it for stuff. And you don't like. I'll just give a perfect example. I need a chainsaw because I have a thing in the backyard. I don't want to go to Home Depot and buy one, and they rent them for like $80 a day. Can I just get one from my neighbor? Well, I'm not going to go knocking door to. You got a chainsaw I can borrow? Jonesy kind of bridges that gap, going, "Hey, I got a chainsaw. I don't use it that much. $20 a day, it's yours."
Right.
So I guess I get to walk me through. I guess how'd you guys start doing it, and kind of what was the brainchild to get this thing off the ground?
I guess I'll start. It was the first nice day of spring. We just moved into our neighborhood, and everyone was out riding bikes, doing things. And I was like, I really want to go on a bike ride. I told my wife, let's go to the store, see what they have. Maybe I'll buy us a pair of bikes so we can go, and we'll use them through the summer. But I knew we'd probably use it that one day and throw them back in the basement. We went to the store.
Lenny's kind of a lazy guy, so he knew he was going to use those bikes once, and that was going to be the end of it.
No, you're shortcoming.
I was jonesing to go for a bike ride. Okay.
Oh, look at
And so we went to the store. It was like $800 for a decent bike. I was like, no, I'm going to have buyer's remorse. I went home, and I saw our neighbors come in, the couple. Still didn't know them. Like, how nice would it be if I could just go borrow their bikes? But what's this? They don't know me.
Yeah, you guys are done with your bike ride. Can I go for a bike ride?
Can I ride it?
Here's $20. Can I go for a ride? And then I had that thought, and it kind of haunted me for that whole night. And I was like, power goes out, but power is still on across the street. That guy has a generator. I need a generator. There's an incentive for him.
If the power's out, he's probably using his generator.
Right. Well, no, his power's on. My power's out.
Oh, there you go.
The generator. He's down the street. Problem solved. And we think people have too much stuff. We can share. We can do more things if we kind of share. But also put a little incentive there. You know, there's so many new expenses, Netflix, your cell phone bill. It's like, let your stuff make you a couple bucks and offset some of all these new expenses we have.
Well, I think I've got camping gear that sits in my basement basically the entire year. I've got my bike. I get a couple rides a year. I've got just so much shit that sits there not making money.
Yeah.
Right. Golf clubs that I use once every 5 years. I mean,
absolutely.
And that was actually you mentioned the camping gear stuff. Lenny called me when he had this idea when he wanted to just, go on a bike ride. And the first thing that I thought of was when I was living in Los Angeles and I was really stressed out and I was running another business, the first thing that I would want to do was just leave town. And I would just want to get out of town, get out of the city and go camping. But I didn't have all the camping gear that I needed. And as soon as he told me the idea about wanting to be able to rent a bike, I started thinking, what about camping gear? And then we just sort of created this list of all of these things that sit dormant in our houses and apartments that we only use a handful of times every year. And
so I can put my wife's throw pillows that are all over our bed on there.
Can you imagine renting those?
Somebody take them.
I believe we have in between 7,300 and 7,400 candles in our homes, like scattered.
I think that would be a dormant listing on Jonezie, but as the idea started rolling, it started becoming bigger things. You see all these peer-to-peer apps or sites coming up, and it's like all these apps are taking up space. Like you said, like you need to earn your space.
What are you doing that deserves real estate on my phone?
So you got Uber, I've got Lyft, I've got Turo for renting cars, I've got like all kinds of.
So now it's turned into something bigger. Yes, like our focus is like, or how it started is like your day-to-day things, but it's even bigger. It is the bikes, it is the boat, it is a plane or a guy who can drive.
I'm doing some backyard work. You got a Caterpillar I can rent for the weekend. Yeah.
So walk me through the elephant in the room is walk me through the sign off process, because we were talking in the green room. Basically, we were saying, "Hey, I got a weed whip," and then you give it back to me. I'm like, "Hey, it don't work." Even if and I'm blaming you for it, even though maybe it was my fault. What's the sign off process when someone brings something back and make sure that it's operational and that you're absolved of kind of trashing someone's stuff?
That's a great question. And with Jonezie, so as a renter, my card is connected until the transaction's completed. When I drop off, it is your job as the listener to check it out. If it has moving parts, make sure you turn that thing on. If it's a lawnmower, you give it a quick pull before you say, this item's been returned. Once that item has been returned and you check off the transaction, the renter's card is disconnected. Andy,
what you can actually do is in the order page, once you've created an order, it's the lister's responsibility to accept or deny the rental. Once you accept it, the charge will start going through. But what's really cool is that whole page is actually a chat, so you can type in the condition of the item as it is right there. You can type in where you want to meet. You can type in.
So they don't have to show up in my garage, which is kind of creepy.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
We can meet at the Meyer parking lot.
Arby's.
And Arby's. I like Arby's.
Arby's. Yeah, meet at Arby's.
They got the meats. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of stories.
Yeah, totally.
Whatever you put in there leaves a paper trail. So there's some sort of accountability there. Stored forever.
And I think the big thing here too is that we have a Jonezie happiness guarantee, and we're really focused on making sure that the listers and the renters are protected.
Sure.
And it's like if you're going to be trusting Jonezie, you're going to be trusting us to take pictures of the stuff that you own and the stuff that you love and renting it out to people in your neighborhood. Then you should have some sort of guarantee that if that stuff is damaged or stolen, you're going to get it back.
So basically, let's say this guy's like a 3-star renter because he trashed two guys' things, and he said, "Hey, this guy wants to rent your snowmobile."
Yeah, you say no to that guy.
I could say no to that.
Say screw off.
All right.
Yeah, and so it's completely up to you. You're always in control. Like if you think that someone is sketchy that wants to rent your lawnmower for the weekend or whatever it might be, you can say no to him. Maybe you want to use your lawnmower. But it's the fact that it's on there, and if you need that option to make a little bit of extra cash and want to be helpful to a neighbor, then you can list it and rent it out.
So how do you know how to set the pricing? Is it up to basically? I have a lawnmower. If I do it for $40, nobody rents it, but I do it for $20 and it's nonstop rental. So I set it at say $30. Is it up to the person to set the price, or do you guys give a recommended?
Yeah, we give a recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can change it from there, scale it up. If you're renting a snowblower and we just got a storm on the sliding scale, you can move it up a little bit or move it
based on supply and demand.
It's like surge pricing.
Yeah.
Surge pricing, yeah, exactly.
But from talking to the users, like, we are a startup. I'm out there renting. I'm out there getting the experience.
Well, I used to love
talking to businesses, and then we need to make it a little more. So we're working a little bit on the pricing structure, but for right now, it's been working well. We're just going to make it better.
We also think it's going to be set by supply and demand. So in the beginnings, when the prices might be high, but once other people start listing the same thing, they'll try to undercut everyone else who was also listing the same thing.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember, like half.com came out to compete with eBay, and what it was, hey, here's this book's being sold for $20 from 18 people. Sell it for 18, and you could sell it tomorrow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it was a reverse eBay, and then eBay bought them and destroyed it, which I'm kind of angry about. But it kind of seems like this, like, hey, there's 47 snowblowers all for $200. Sell yours for $100, and you'll get a rental tomorrow.
Yeah. And the big goal too is to rent from your neighbor. So yes, there is 100 snowblowers on, and yes, you want to rent the best snowblower, the one with the highest rating.
I want the one down the street, not the one that's across town. Yeah.
And so that's where, there might be a little competition between items, but the end goal for us is to literally walk down the street and pick up something you need.
Well, you want it from your neighbor, because then if that guy's walking his dog like next week and you broke my lawnmower, you asshole. Yeah. Like, you don't want to trash your neighbor's stuff, like take a crap in an ice cream maker, and then you got to see the guy every day all summer.
That wasn't part of the agreement.
Right.
Is there a time limit on this? Is it agreed upon, or is it agreed upon by the two individuals?
So when you're booking a listing, when I'm checking out, there's also, it's not just a date. So I'm also setting a time.
Right.
And we have a messaging, so you can be like, I'm running 50, or how about an hour later? But when you initially want to book something, you set the date, the time of pickup, the drop-off date, and the time of the drop-off.
So it's not like Blockbuster where they charge you $3 a day, and if you keep it for a year, you're like,
no,
got $1,000 bill from these buttholes.
Yeah. No,
it's okay
for Bad Boys 2.
It's never a good movie you kept forever.
Please be kind to rewind.
Right.
Absolutely. But we call Jonezie a tribe, and we also, besides like helping out a neighbor, it's just like we're kind of nervous of the 2 points of friction of the drop off, the pickup. From renting personally, it's the drop off is awesome.
We have one of our first customers.
It's so weird. There's a renter.
Well, no, because we actually we mocked this 2 weeks ago when Randy was hanging out with us about how he listed his ice cream maker on Jonezie. We're like, you're a moron.
So when the Jonezie
guy shows up, and he's like, oh yeah, I just rented an ice cream maker from my neighbor. We're like, oh, was it Randy? Yeah.
This is creepy.
I rented an ice cream maker from my neighbor, and it was awesome. Me and my wife sat in Friday, made a couple different kinds of ice cream. We have a to-go for Randy of cheesecake ice cream.
It was delicious.
With brownie. Yeah, the Jonezie crew had a little sample.
Yeah, Randy, I got to add some dirt to eat because we mocked the ever-living shit out of Randy. I'm like, listen, ice cream maker, what are you doing? Like, of all things, like ice cream maker. He's like, yeah, I rented it last week. And I'm like, oh my God, like, are you kidding me? Like, it
I
worked.
rented it for a week. How much did you make off that?
$20.
Yeah.
And it would have just been sitting in your basement.
You were walking out the door, right?
Yeah, I was walking out the door.
It was new,
picked
brand
up.
new in the box.
I've never taken it out of the box. It's been sitting in the garage for over a year.
Oh my God, you know who that'd be amazing for? Bridal shower wives. Like, you know how much crap you get that you never use ever?
Here's your
rice maker.
Pickle tray.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, they put on, for a wedding, it seemed like every time we went to go book something or anything, it was $5,000. $5,000. And we own some of this decor. Like, we had a rustic-y wedding that's kind of in right now, but we have all this stuff that my dad had a wood shop he built, and I'm throwing it up there, and it's getting likes. And other people who are just having weddings are throwing up their gear. So, you can have that nice. Hopefully, you can have that nice wedding one day and rent a couple things from here and there.
Well, and
I can see like chair table rentals.
Well, yeah. So not only that, but
on there.
So I mean, is the intent to stick with just stuff, or is the intent to look at services too? Like,
I can say people.
Well, no. Well, yeah,
back page.
Well, now the back page is shut down.
No living things. Don't list it.
But I looking at like weddings. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I need chairs. I need tables. I need a DJ.
Yeah. So there's actually I think there's a party bus on there, and included, they want you to also hire them as a driver. They want to drive it because it's their bus.
Right.
So,
Dancers included too, if you want them.
Actually, that's true. Yeah.
Bonus listing.
Yeah. Smoking.
There's a taco truck on there too. Holy crap!
Yeah.
There's a bunch of
How do you rent a taco truck?
A lot of interest.
Well, no, don't you have food licenses? I'm just curious how that would work.
Well, you book them to come to your party.
Oh, all right, sorry.
So there's a booking.
I thought I
fee.
could drive it and make the tacos. That would be awesome.
Your chicken
I don't know if
tacos.
that's good.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe one day.
Right.
We'll see where Jonezie goes. Hopefully, Amazon, you buy things. Jonezie, you rent things.
Oh.
So I feel like I have to ask because this is just the painfully. What's the weirdest thing you've seen listed out there so far?
Ice cream maker.
A bong.
Oh, a bong.
Oh well, here's Randy's ice cream maker.
It was kind of dirty.
It's red.
Was it a new?
At least clean it out, guy.
I say a new bong. Isn't that
We love
like
you.
isn't that like renting a toothbrush, renting a bong? Like think about
Pretty
the
much on the same level,
Like,
almost.
has it been washed?
Sometimes you just want to take a toke.
Right.
What if it's a really impressive bong? Like all your bongs are
It
like
is.
weak
It's glass
and
on
wimpy.
glass, 20 mil.
Well, yeah. So just sitting here, scrolling through. So you've got wheels. Yeah, just looking at the categories, so I can rent cars and stuff
For sure.
Tools, which we were just yakking about. Parties, we were just talking about. Electronics. Hey, I need a camera. I need a whatever else. Cool.
N64. Yeah.
Holy shit! Some guy named Zach in Ferndale is renting his Hillary and Donald mask.
Wow.
For $2 a day.
Classics.
What is an N64 getting? Because I got one sitting dormant.
What is it getting?
I mean, that's up to you. You know, you can list it where you want to list
Oh,
it.
I'm totally
Under
listening.
electronics, right?
Some people are doing bundles like a Mario bundle, so they have like 5 Mario games, the N64, 2 controllers.
I got the
for
wrestling bundle,
24 bucks
wrestling
for a
and Madden
week.
bundle.
There you go.
This is for the community.
You can surcharge that for sure.
And they get to all my creator wrestlers they can have too for bar. Oh my God, this is good.
But then you've got spaces too. So people like, hey, I need to. You know what? I got a bunch of crap in my basement that
And
I
I
don't
think
want
this
in
is-
my basement.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
put
this
it in
is one of
I'll
those-
put it in your basement.
I think this is probably one of the biggest opportunities that we have for Jonezie. The storage space industry is a $2.2 billion industry. So many people have more stuff than they need, right? And this is like, there's actually guilty, right? We can all raise our hand and say that we're guilty because we have more stuff than we actually use.
Well, it's George Carlin 101. You keep accumulating more crap, and then you need a bigger house, and then you got to get more crap to fill the house, and then
That's exactly
Can't have empty
right.
spaces.
Dude, this Xbox 350 or 360 is $150 a day, dude. For a month, you can rent one for $13.
Yeah. You know, how many times I literally bought an Xbox before Jonezie, and I was just, I'm going to say it again, I was jonesing to a video game. I'm not a huge gamer, but I really just wanted to sit down, play video games for 10 hours. And so I went out.
With your rental bong, right?
Right. So I picked up the bong and I picked up an Xbox. And anyway, so I bought this Xbox, or actually my wife bought it for me. And
Thanks, Rachel.
I literally played it for 10 hours. It has been sitting there unplayed. And the buyer's remorse again just like hit me. I was like, what did I do?
Wait, you just look
But
around
you
your
know
house
what?
and you're like, dollars. Yeah.
Closet full of rifles. Closet full of rifles. Closet full.
Oh
of
yeah, can you Jonesy guns?
I'm gonna rent a gun.
No firearms. But my point being here is
Potato guns,
that,
maybe.
You know, I
No
got
living
my
things,
10
no
hour.
firearms. Those are the only two rules.
You're making this up on the fly as we go.
we launched 2 weeks ago. We know nothing.
Isn't there a thing on the West Coast to like rent cats? Randy would probably know.
There's videos.
Wait, is this
There's
back,
Tinder
are we
for
coming up on a
dogs,
back page
right?
joke again?
No, like you
or-
can rent a cat, so you like have a cat in your house for like the day or the weekend.
Yeah.
yeah. See, he's
You can
confirming.
walk someone else's dog.
Yeah,
Or,
totally.
Yeah.
So instead of
I don't know
hiring
if
a
they're
dog walker,
necessarily
you list
scaling,
your
but
dog
there
and
is
let
an
someone else
Right.
pay to walk it.
Yeah.
You can you want the shit without the stink. I just want a cat, but I don't want a cat. I just want one for a day. And you rent a cat. Like,
What if you lose that? It's like so sentimental.
exactly.
It's like,
I'm picking up my cat.
you owe me $1 million because this had no value to it.
So how does that work? So say I bring something back and it's like obviously screwed up.
Yeah.
Where does the value come from? Like, where does that value come from for replacement?
So when you list something, we don't ask users out there, we don't ask how much you paid for it. We're asking you, what is the current value? If you were to sell it on Craigslist right now, what would you get for it? And from that's where we get our recommended rental price, which you can change. You can literally just get rid of our recommendation and type in something, or you can use our sliding bar.
have you got any arguments? Like, I didn't break it. The guy's like, I'm just saying.
Not yet. We will.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So what happens?
Signs up.
Right. Exactly.
Well, the first thing is we want to keep our listeners happy, so we'll deal with the shit, and we'll either cut them a check or get it fixed. First, we want to see if we can get it fixed. If we can't get it fixed, then we'll find you a replacement.
Sure.
Or cut you a check if we can't find that.
The great thing is that most people are good people, and it really doesn't happen that often.
Really, that's not my experience.
We live in different worlds.
Most people suck. Is my
Maybe we live
Our
in different worlds.
generations.
Yeah, run a podcast studio for 6 months and tell me if people are good people.
So you guys are based here in the Metro Detroit area, so obviously you're covering the Detroit area.
Yeah.
Where else are you guys spreading to now? Where else can we get stuff at? And then where are you going from there?
As of right now, we're Detroit and the surrounding areas. So
Macomb, Oakland.
Rochester, metro area.
Cool.
And then we're in Ann Arbor. We have an awesome team of U of M kids out there just representing. And we owe them the
Crushing
world.
it.
Yeah.
But that's step 1 and step 2. Where's step 3? The world.
So, someone did a post today, and it was a follower, Minimalist.
Yeah.
They have they just had that documentary on Netflix. And so I woke up this morning, and Jonezie was blowing up, and we had like 60 signups within at 8:30 in the morning. I'm like, what is going on? I know I'm really doing all this business reach out, but hard work pays off. But then,
random social media
I get
mention.
into Google Analytics and I find it, and I actually, a week before that, I kind of just dropped a little tag on one of their posts, and they liked it. I was like, oh, that's cool. And so they did a whole long, awesome piece about it, reshared the Daily Detroit article, and we have been getting open in Portland, open in here, da-da-da-da-da. And this guy from Australia really wants to meet with us, and today has been a really cool day, especially being on here too. It's
awesome.
It's been very exciting.
This is probably the highlight of your week.
The fun thing with Jonezie is it's TGIF. It's like TGIM. I love Mondays now, because every week something new and something big is happening to us.
It's like happy hour
And it's
TGI
'cause
Fridays.
of the hard work we're doing. But it's countless hours. We're down there, so
In the basement.
Yeah.
That's really nice basement. You guys should see it.
Yeah, so also just to echo on Lenny's point, just in terms of answering the question that you were asking, what is next?
I missed that.
To actually get us back focused here for a sec.
We are really thinking big. We are thinking this is a platform that can be everywhere, all over the United States and in other countries as well. And we do think that we do have this habit of consuming too much. And we do think that the way that we're using technology today has sort of taken us away from really living with our own community. And for me personally, I only know a handful of my neighbors, and I wish I knew all of them. And I wish I could trust all of them. And I think that Jonezie is kind of this platform that allows people to reconnect with everyone else that's around us. And we want to make this a huge roaring success in Detroit.
I can list a cup of sugar, speaking of getting to know your neighbors.
100%.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Let's do that.
Pepper, whatever.
One egg.
Right.
One egg. They returned it broken.
Split an egg. Whatever it might be.
There's going to be that listing there.
So we're thinking really big, but we're executing really small. And what we want is Detroit to really rally behind us, and we want feedback. We want it's we literally launched 2 weeks ago. We want feedback from the people that have signed up and are interested in the idea and want to learn more, because at the end of the day, we don't have all the answers, and we need the Detroit community to rally behind us. And if we can make it a success here, we know that we can then scale it to other cities and make it a success everywhere else.
Dude, that's so awesome. Your website's beautiful. Where do we find you online?
In terms of social media, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, Twitter as well.
Well, and it's Jonezie with a Z.
Jonezie is spelled JONEZIE.com.
And it's not an app, it's just a website right now. Yep.
It's just a website. Andy is going to be building the app this year, which is going to be beautiful as well.
Yeah.
But please sign up at Jonezie.com and please contact us directly. My cell phone number is literally at the bottom of the homepage. Text me, call me, let me know if you have any questions, comments, whatever it is.
That's not going to work out well for him.
You can call
We need an 888 Jonezie.
533-241.
We want to be talking to people. because we know if we talk to people and we listen to them and we take their ideas and we figure out what's going to be valuable to the people that are using Jonezie, then it's going to be valuable to the world, and that's what we want to do.
For sure.
Very
awesome.
cool.
Matt, Andy, Lenny, appreciate the time you spent with us, and look forward to having you back when things are blown up a little bit. But yeah, thanks for the time, and we will be back segment 3. You got Dan here from visitdetroit.com. This is the IT and the D show, and we'll be right back.
IT and the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT and the D show.
ITintheD.com.
Welcome back, segment 3, episode 179. This is the IT and the D show, broadcasting here in Podcast Detroit, beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. It's Bob the Sales Guy, hanging out with Dave the Geek, Nerdy the FNG. Find us online, ITintheD.com.
All the things.
Right. And we are joined, even though you ditched us last show.
Yeah, whatever.
We brought
He had a really good reason.
He was depicting the D. Come on.
I was depicting the D all night long.
We decided to bring him back, but we have one of our favorite guests, Dan, here from visitdetroit.com, the Detroit Convention and Visitors Bureau. During Auto Show.
Yeah, I was going to say, gee, Dan, is anything going on in Detroit this week?
It's like all happening in the same week, same weekend.
So now everyone from it's always the auto show is like the worst weather week. It's almost like the weather, Mother Nature knows that the world is here and let's make the weather just shit.
8 degrees, freezing rain.
Right. Yeah. I can't even step on the sidewalk without thinking I'm going to break my neck. Let's have an auto show.
During the media preview, I think that was when there was that big snowstorm, right? On
that one day snowstorm
Wednesday.
that rained
one day, and then it went away. Yeah, so thanks for that. Appreciate it, Mother Nature. But all kinds of, I mean, there are literally so many international media, from auto and everything that are just coming in at that time. And so there was that huge snowstorm, whatever. I mean, luckily most of them were all downtown in hotels, so it didn't take too long.
So what's the usual attendance at something like this? I'm like, how many people are in town for this?
So, last year they had numbers of 800,000 people attended the auto show, and they expect to reach that or increase. So 800,000 people are coming in.
That's insane.
For that, it's just over a week of showing, public show. It's crazy. It's phenomenal. It's the auto show. I mean,
wait, because it's open to the public now.
It's open to the public now
because we had a lot of people ask last week because we had the guys from M Squared in here and we did the media preview day. It was like, no, it's not open to the public until Saturday. So now it's open to the public. Go down, check it out. Yeah,
check it out. There's all kinds of things going on between the cars. The displays are just. They're stunning. They're crazy because it's not like
I'm always floored by how much money gets poured into this place for those things. It's ridiculous.
Money is not an object when it comes to these displays and what's happening. I mean, you just some of our hometown auto companies will have not half of Kobo, like a third of Kobo as their display, and I don't know.
And they'll turn it into
16
something.
cars.
Yeah.
Well, and not just that, we joke that we call them booth bait, but we know promotional with sales specialists. They're actually sales specialists. Their training they have to go through is like 2 weeks of training that to be certified. They get tested. They know those products better than any gearhead in the place.
Right.
Which is pretty amazing, the lengths that they go through to make sure that these gorgeous models are knowledgeable enough to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Instead of just going,
it's also knowledge.
No, right.
Yeah.
What's under the hood, and they actually know. Like, wow.
Yeah, well,
it's got a Hemi.
Exactly.
This thing's got a Hemi.
Check out the rear end on that. I meant the pickup truck lady.
Wonder how that handles in the.
Anyways, so to give you a factoid, I was talking to the GM of Kobo.
Okay.
And we're going on a tour for a special group, and he was telling us that. So to give you a scale of how large this conference is, this show. There's a certain company that rents lights. Maybe Jonezie should get them on to their site. But it's like a huge global supplier of renting stage lights and everything of the like. They said that half of their global inventory is at Kobo during the auto show.
Wow. That's amazing.
That's how big this thing is.
I don't doubt it.
And I mean, with 800,000 people coming in, during this time period.
Wait, because it's 8 degrees outside, it's 800 degrees inside.
Right,
with
it
all the
is. It is so freaking hot.
So this is the time of the year that we showed the world, like,
Yeah.
what Detroit's up to.
This is what's up. January. This is what's happening. You got to come to Detroit if you have any interest in automobiles and vehicles and autonomous vehicles, anything of that nature. You have to come to Detroit.
Well,
You
then
have to check out
downstairs, it's not just the cars upstairs. Downstairs is like where all the technology, like we saw a 3D printed car getting driven around. All the
we saw it getting
army
made.
Right.
Yeah, they were making a 3D printed car every 22 hours.
Right.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Automobility is that downstairs section over in the atrium, and that's where they have all the tech, the autonomous vehicles, and everything of that nature. It's phenomenal to see where we've come. You know, it's nice to be able to drive a car, and then it may be nice to
go home car. I'm drunk.
Yeah, I'm drunk. Right? Drive me home. You already have your home plugged in. It's got GPS. It's basically just taking you wherever you need to go.
Well, so Tesla's even open and close your garage for you too. They'll pull into your garage, open it, and then close it again.
Because it realizes where you are. GPS, right?
Sure.
Isn't that how the guy in Silicon Valley wound up in the container on the way to China? Yeah.
No, so I mean, the event is one thing. Is there anybody doing anything outside? Like when you go to CES, for example, all the big shows are kind of outside the campus. Is there anything going on off campus anybody should know about?
So what we did, or actually I didn't do any of this. I'll take credit for it, but I didn't do any of it. This year,
what I've been issuing press releases for is
there's something called Lumosity, or they're these like stereo bots, and so they're out in different pinpointed areas of the downtown area in Detroit. You just have to think of it like a structure that is lit, and then it's lit to different types of music. I guess it kind of changes with the beat. And they range anywhere from 12 feet to like 20 or 25 feet tall, and it's just a spectacle to see.
We saw half of them. We went down there on Friday night and had a nice little walk around downtown.
Yeah,
and we took the People Mover, which was kind of great too. I have $10 of People Mover tokens in my jacket still. But they were like, they ranged from like kind of Mobius loops to fractal dragons. I mean, it was just the most incredible.
That's very intricate, Neri.
Yeah, very good descriptions I gave of this.
That was very good.
Some of them weren't open though, so we got down there kind of late. What time do those things close for the bigger displays?
That I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know that. I mean, I know a lot, but not everything.
I'm surprised they're not doing when they do the Winter Fest. I'm surprised they don't tie that in just to give some people some, especially from out of town, something to do.
Well, that's coming up.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Bob.
Good.
Because the Winterfest is coming up next weekend.
Oh.
So it used to be in February.
Right.
The Meridian Winter Blast. Yep. And now it's going to be next weekend. And the idea actually with these stereo bot luminosity things is kind of to draw people to and from the auto show and to Winter Blast.
Okay.
And so that's kind of why they moved it to the time frame during the auto show in January, so that while you're done inside with the cars, then you can go outside, hang outside and do Winter Blast and do anything from what do we got? Ice skating at the rink to there's an ice bar and maze. And there's an ice garden. It sounds thrilling.
An ice maze? Is that really a good idea?
I'm doing that.
It's ice
after you've drank at the ice bar.
Yeah, now I'm just picturing The Shining.
If you wait long enough, it'll just melt and you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be able to get out.
This is going on the same time or right after?
This will be going on next weekend. So next weekend is the last weekend of the auto show, and is also the weekend of Meridian Winter Blast.
Extend your stay in Detroit.
Exactly.
Keep those 800,000 people here.
Right. Or
Let's
not,
do a
because
weekend.
traffic, not fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, all our favorite bars are closed down for VW and for General Motors.
I couldn't get chicken wings because Brick's closed.
I know.
Private event.
Toilet.
Man.
Where's the ITintheD private event?
First world
auto
problems.
show.
We're not that big.
It's at Nancy
Whiskey Thursday night.
In September?
Yeah, in September it'll be there. But no, that's kind of cool that they moved that up to tie that in, because that is one of those things that it makes sense to try to have that hook while you've got all these people here. Because it's a big. I know a lot of people with families that go down for Winterfest and go down for the auto show. two birds, one stone. Why not?
Yeah, and to be able to experience winter, in the city at Winter Blast and do everything from s'mores to zip lining to live music. It's just fun to do, and then you can go right from there. You can go to the auto show, experience the cars, and get warm for a little bit, and then if you want, even come back out for a little more of, like I said, ice skating and the ice maze.
Well, like us at every con, whether it's auto show or Comic-Con, it's let's take a lap, let's go find a bar. Let's take a lap,
right.
Let's go find a bar.
Right. And what I have to say, too, is that being down there was really an amazing experience because I stood at Hart Plaza and looked down Woodward and just all the activity and all the lights and how beautiful and amazing the city of Detroit is right now and how much things are going on.
Absolutely.
If you live in the suburbs and don't come down to the city, you're totally missing out on something really special.
And when you stand at Hart Plaza and you look down Woodward, you look technically up Woodward, you see all this revitalization, right? You're seeing all kinds of new storefronts that are open.
Well, and not like Super Bowl when it was here a couple years ago. They're not fake storefronts. They're actually places that are open
real
now.
places that are open that you can go to, spend your money, have a good time, and then just go back to wherever you need to go. I mean, have a great time downtown in the D, and make sure that you're spending the time that you need to. Right.
Just make sure when you take a picture, send it to Twitter, #DepictTheD.
Right. Well, that's what we want. That's what we want you to do there. We want
Instagram too.
Those in the D pics.
You want those D shots?
Phrasing. Let's be careful how we phrase that.
Well, there's almost 40,000 now.
There's over 45,000.
Okay.
On Instagram. Depict the D pics.
It is what it is. So I mean, so what else is going on? What else is coming up?
So right now also is Phantom of the Opera. Over 30 years it's been around.
Okay.
And it's touring right now. This is the Broadway show. It's at the Detroit Opera House, and I went there when my wife and I went last week. I have to say it was my first time actually seeing the Phantom of the Opera, and the show was amazing, but the pyrotechnics were just out of this world. Unbelievable. Like, I couldn't even comprehend the pyrotechnics that were happening at an opera show, not an opera show, at a play.
Yeah.
Would you say it's better than RoboCop the musical? It's a stellar
I'm not going to
show.
take sides.
Singe your eyebrows.
Right.
But
when the RoboCop statue is going to get made?
I'm waiting for it because I want to depict the D that. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a whole set of shenanigans.
I know exactly where it needs to go, on the corner of Michigan Trumbull at the new Pal Stadium, right there. Like, he's the guardian of the new stadium. Like, it's so perfect. If it doesn't get done, it's a travesty to the city.
Hey, I don't know where it's going, and like I said, I'm waiting for it. I think it'll be great. Kind of like the
Tim Allen first, then RoboCop.
The Sons of Detroit.
Eddie Murphy with the Lions jacket.
Oh, there you
then
go.
Tim Allen.
Right. What was his name? Not Hank Hill. Gill. Who was the police
Sounds
chief?
familiar. From what?
From Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, at that time?
Wasn't it Hal Gill?
I don't know.
The Jonezie crew's too young for that.
Really, yeah.
A movie from the 80s? Never heard of it.
But yeah, there's, like I said, there's a lot going on. You can always see more at visitdetroit.com. We got our blog going, blog.visitdetroit.com.
Well, it seems like every time you turn around, there's another restaurant opening. There's another bar opening. There's just something else is opening. I mean,
can't keep up anymore.
Yeah.
There's so much opening. You're right. You can't keep up because I'm trying to go to all of these places to eat and do a little bit of research, and I can't.
The
even
place
keep
with the
up with it.
$17 minimum drink. Like, that's the
18.
drink on the
That
menu.
was bad luck.
$18.
Yeah, $18.
What's it called?
Yeah, bad luck.
Oh, yeah. Bad luck for your wallet.
No, but they're all over the place. Everything from up and down Woodward to there's some in Corktown. There's places opening up all over the place. Midtown, a couple great grills and bars, and to be able to see this, all the restaurants that are opening is really phenomenal because I can't even, like I said, I can't even comprehend what's going on. But we're going to be, the idea of talking about what's happening and how frequently we're going to start putting that in our blog, because people are just from out of the region, people from that are visiting, they can't figure out where to go or what to do. So at this point, we've said we might as well put it in our blog, once or twice a month, figure out what you can do, give you a little itinerary, get you going.
So Dan, how excited are you and is the city for the Applebee's IHOP combo restaurant coming to downtown Detroit? To me, it's the biggest news since the Renaissance Center building. This is monumental. This is what puts Detroit finally on the map. Right. What's your thoughts, Dan?
Well, let me tell you, Bob. It's a combo, first of all, which makes it even better. And
so you can get a Belgian waffle and riblets at the same time.
Yeah,
mind blown.
You can put them both in your mouth at the same time.
Oh my God, mind blown.
But dude, it's interesting. Let's say that.
Well, and it's the same folks that were behind the Applebee's on 8 Mile,
right?
Yeah.
And so you know what my philosophy is? Visit Detroit was part of that.
Yep.
That Applebee's on 8 Mile scavenger hunt promotion.
I have two regrets in life. One, not studying my junior year in Munich, and two, not going on the Applebee's scavenger hunt in Detroit.
Absolutely.
Damn Comic-Cons that
I know,
we commit
seriously.
to.
Seriously.
I don't know what the hell you were doing over there, but you missed the boat and you missed the trophy. But, it's got so much success, probably because of that scavenger hunt, I'm sure.
Of course.
And so, I'm not saying that there'd be a scavenger hunt for this new Applebee's IHOP.
But hypothetically speaking, there might be.
But because of all the success, there could be. But that's just I don't want to downplay it.
No, we joke. It's good seeing investment. I don't care if it's national, startup.
Well, absolutely.
You have a choice. You have a choice because I was talking about. I go, other than Hudson Cafe and like Brooklyn, where do you go for breakfast in like downtown?
Yeah, Hudson Cafe and Bronx Bar, and
right,
or I mean Mercury Bar.
Mercury's open for breakfast.
Yeah,
okay, but see, there's not that. So again, if you're from out of IHOP, it's
Well, and we laugh about it because people whenever a story like this comes out, hey, why don't support chains, support the local places, then don't go. If it's not your thing, don't go. But all I know is that Applebee's on 8 Mile is friggin' packed every time you drive by it.
Right.
So if nobody's going to chains, then who are all those people?
Right. Well, I see that's the thing with I think every
the people
city,
going to Applebee's aren't going to Cotoy. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Every city needs a combination of chains.
Yep.
And they need the combination of chains, like I said, and entrepreneurs. So you need those two different levels of whatever service you're in. And,
we have two types of people. Like I travel on business. I like going for what's the best local flavor. Some people want to go for what's comfortable.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because if I go to Applebee's here, it's the same as the Applebee's in St. Louis.
Yeah, that's the
it's
idea.
The same as the Applebee's in
Again, there's both. Right. There's people of all different whatever. So you need to have both.
Yeah, and that's part of the recipe of success.
But we're still going to joke about it.
Because it's who we are.
Right.
We mock because
bad
we
PR
love.
is
Right.
PR.
Right, exactly.
But
DetroitApplebee's.com gets more traffic than actually Applebee's.com.
I'm sure those boots are getting a lot of traffic.
Totally.
Yeah, but so we talk about the PR and getting noticed in Detroit, and then you talk 2 weeks ago, I think, or maybe a week ago, New York Times said Detroit is one of the 52 places to go in 2017.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Number
9.
Yeah, we weren't 52. That was they didn't have to extend the list for us. Yeah.
Right. We're in the top 10 according to the New York Times. And then something just came out recently from National Geographic was saying that Detroit is another place to go. So we're getting recognition from these big chains, if you will.
It's the food city of North America.
Yes.
It's National Geographic.
That's what it is. That's right. The
Conies.
food city.
It's all about the conies.
No, it's about places like Grey Ghost and
right.
It's all about the conies.
Yeah, but I mean, you come over here, you come to Detroit, and you think Detroit is the Motor City.
Yep.
Right, and so you can think that during the auto show. That's what we want you to think during the auto show. It's the Motor City, or during the Woodward Dream Cruise.
That's the
or during the Grand Prix.
Right. Yeah. So that's the first date. We're lying. We're making ourselves look cute. Yeah.
Yeah. But then when you're here, you got to eat.
Yeah.
And Detroit is a foodie destination now. We're among all those other cities, nationally and internationally. And it's something that you can't deny.
Well, Chicago. What did they say? You could eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a different place every day, and for 8 years, and you wouldn't go to the same place twice. I mean, I don't think we're ever, and that's a good thing because I don't want Chicago traffic, and I don't want.
Right.
I want Detroit to be Detroit. I don't want us to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
Let us do.
We
our
are
thing.
who we are.
Yeah,
we hustle harder.
Exactly.
We are America's great comeback city.
The Paris of the Midwest.
The Paris of the Midwest.
Oh, Lord. All right, before this devolves too much further. All right. So where do we find out about all the things that the Convention and Visitors Bureau has going on, Dan, or knows about, I guess I should say?
VisitDetroit.com. That's going to be your best place to go. We also have our blog at blog.visitdetroit.com. And you can find us, Visit Detroit, on social media. That's Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Awesome.
I'm tweeting.
Do it.
Don't do it too much, Randy. Go blind. Dan, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you in about a month and a half as scheduled. And
another update.
We appreciate your time. And once again, thank you for hanging out with us on behalf of Bob, Dave, and Nuri, and Randy doing the Twitters.
Randy.
Thank you for listening to episode 179 of the ITintheD Show. We'd like to thank our guests, all the guys here from Jonezie, Dan from VisitDetroit.com, and thank you very much to our sponsors, Fellows, Blue Apron, and Eero. Check out the update for all the coupon codes if you missed them online. I think Randy put a few out on the Twitters. But do us all a favor. Drink your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. Please drive careful. See you soon. Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash. You've saved your Earth. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy.
Make the run. The run.
Game over, man. Game over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over.
Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Ruth.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe, own the truth.
Bear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.